Well, team, even the bear in me today doesn't like days like today. It just seems like, wow. Anywhere you look, looks like Disney. It's no longer with two ears. We're just going to have it with one ear now because one ear just got removed. And looking like that other ear is hanging on by a thread. We'll have to talk about it right here at the close. Let's find out what's going on in this market. And of course, got CPI tomorrow, don't we? Got to talk about it. I need my man Joel Elconin to get some sense into me. What's going on in this market?
All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
Three consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
What's going on, Joel? Talk some sense into me because it's looking like everyone was looking for a red sweep. We ain't getting that.
Yeah, we're getting red. They're definitely
red.
getting a red sweep.
Yeah, that
here.
we're getting red, but it's red markets, not not what you want to be
All
seeing.
right,
Here.
well let's run down the futures and some of these commodities here and find out what's ailing this market here. We're down 71.50. We never sniffed the close this morning, and then around noonish they tried to keep this thing in a 3,900 handle. No can do. No can do. And also, we'll just talk about what another catalyst there. Dollar up 89 cents at 110.43. TLT down 18 cents, 94.12. Here's one of the culprits in the market: crude oil. The China works down 312 at 85.79. Gold down 690 at 1709.10. Silver down 36.7 cents at 2113. And Bitcoin, there's the culprit once again. 1655, we're down at 16,440, and even doing worse than that. We have Ethereum futures down $139.50. So I don't know. There's no positives here. I did see Johnson and Johnson. That was in the green. That's your biggest gainer, and that's only started. That was in the green like a half hour ago. Now it's in the red by 56 cents, Mitch. We're taking out all the gains from the last three sessions, and we're moving in on. You would think like we were making a new low for the week. No can do. 37.38 and a quarter. That was Monday's low. That's the only thing I see hold, potential support.
It is days like today where you really say, is it the Bulls that have control or it's the Bears that have control? Because it seems like things definitely just took a turn. Now, of course, CPI coming tomorrow, that's going to be, could flip this right back into favor.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Do you have? I should have asked you before. Do we have any expectations for that?
I got you right here.
Okay.
All right. So the report is expected. The estimate is at 8%. Of course, down from 8.2% in September's report. So we're expecting to go down 0.2 on the year overall, year to year reading. Now, one of the things is that this is where it gets interesting. When we look at core CPI, where you exclude energy, and that's the one that we've been focusing on. This is actually expected to gain 6.5 in October, down from 6.6. So this is just a slight move down. This is where things can get a little bit better if it, for some reason, in core comes down to like 6.3. That would be a good outlook there. That could definitely get the spiking in the markets. Now, what could drive us to really kind of get down further is if it comes in at 6.6, right? Like it just hasn't moved. And that's what I think it kind of would probably come in. And the reason why is that nothing's really changed.
Yeah, I mean, we go back and forth with the readings, like when do they take this? Like, for example, crude.
Yeah.
right? If they took it early in the month of October, right? It had a big rally. If they took it late in the month, and I don't think they take it. Well, actually hit. It made the big move. So, crude, is a wild card. Gas. I know gas prices have come down a little bit. Let's look at some of your commodities. You got wheat breaking down. What else you got going on? You got corn going down. Well, corn's held in there much better. Rent is also the big
Yeah.
component of it. And then also, and I don't know where I got the information. I don't know how factual it is, but like the school lunches. That was there was like
Those dang school lunches, man. They get you. Those lunch ladies.
yeah. So boy, it's a toss up, but I think now even if you get a good number, huh? You know, if you
Yeah.
get a good number, you got people stuck.
All right. So where should we start in the disaster of today? Should we go to the
House of Mouse.
really
Let's
well
start with
House of
that.
Mouses? Not House of Mouse. It's House of Mouses. Because you got to watch
Wow.
out. Put the cheese out because the trap's set.
Man, oh man, oh man. We are back. Ooh, the only low I have in this is the COVID low of 79.07. That's still ways away. That's about $8 away. But it
It's
opened lower,
crazy.
and then you just had some big boys. They just say, "Get me out, get me out, get me out." The Shores got in the parade on this one. It is off the intraday low of 86.26. That's a buck, but the problem with when you have this this kind of move, people that don't follow the markets as closely as we do, they'll pull it up at night and they'll be like, "What?" And then they'll be like, "Boom, get me out tomorrow." So bad days, and you know what? This had a lot of bad days. The street was leaning the right way into this report, that's for sure. Because wow, how many down days we had? One, ooh, one, two, three out of four, three out of five. I don't know. They're looking more red to me because the closes were lower than the opens, so that just accentuates the momentum. But man, this is going to be the lowest close for Disney since March of 2020. No other way to put it.
Yeah, I'll try to bring a positive stock and in between the disaster stocks. So let's go
Yeah, you're gonna have a
to
hard time doing that.
yeah, it's hard, but I got one at least. Sprouts Farmers Market, SFM, right? Of course, they
Hmm.
had their earnings EPS at 61 cents, beat the 51-cent estimate. Sales at 1.59 billion, beat the 1.58 billion estimate. They did kind of raise their Q4 adjusted EPS and see full year 22 adjusted EPS also higher. So they didn't do too bad today. If you're looking for a
Yeah,
value play to look for, Sprouts
th-
Farmers in a market
yeah,
that wanted to really push down, not a bad chart.
yeah. It didn't give me much pre-market action to look at. It had hit, I believe, like the 31 area, actually 32. And then it came back under three, and it just blew through there very quickly, getting over $33. Still holding on to a lion's share of the gains here in the session, up 323. Just be keeping an eye on the close. That's it. That will be the high close for the recent rebound, not too far away from all-time highs. S&P's slipping into the 3750 handle as we're pressing lower with 21 minutes left. Let's see how Kroger's doing. Kroger up a buck. Wow, that got a nice lift, a gap up to Sprouts earnings. That's had a nice rally since they announced that deal with Albertsons. But that's what else we have? We got one taken out, right? Albertsons,
Yeah.
right? Do we have any
Grocery
other?
store stocks.
Yeah, I mean Kohl's doesn't sell groceries. You know what? How's old Tarjay holding up? Oh boy, bad day. How about Walmart? Walmart. Oh, just a
Ooh,
bad day. There's just no. Wow,
give me
that
an
just made
interesting
a
chart that I probably never have talked about on this show. Casey's General Stores. Do you know Casey's?
CASY. There we
Yes.
go. Wow, they
Look
got the
at
yeah,
that sneaker of a chart. That's what you call a sneaker. You don't even
yeah.
know about this stock, and then look at that chart.
92,000 shares, $233 stock. Probably not the easiest one to trade. Potential double top here. I don't want to call it a double top until it is. But you got someone trying to wiggle out at the 234.50 area. And then, just after that, half and whole numbers. But too bad that thing doesn't trade a lot of volume. But John B says Casey General Stores has good pizza. I don't know.
Good pizzas. I haven't been to a Casey's. That seems interesting. I'm gonna have to find out, John B.
Yeah, I don't know what part of the country it is.
Right?
It's
Yeah,
in, yeah.
where in the world are Casey's? I haven't been to one, but we'll have to
No.
find out there. Looks like it at least got some movement today. I'll tell you
Phew.
one area that definitely turned around today. It looks like Oxy, someone forgot the pump on because it's on the downside right now.
They had some earnings, right?
Yeah, they did have earnings. They missed and beat on sales, so it wasn't too bad on the EPS, just missing by 2 cents. And it looks like sales were mainly in line, a little bit of a beat there. So it wasn't too bad there. But also look at the chart. The chart tells us a lot to look at something. And I saw the 52-week high coming, and it looked like it was starting to get resistance. It turned around today.
Yeah, it did. And this 75 had been a pesky area at the end of August. And then 3 days in a row, it was pretty close. I'll ballpark it. There were three highs between 75.75 and 76.11. So someone's just trying to, wiggle out. Maybe not at, maybe their target price was 76. They let it get above that on Monday, but couldn't sustain it. And then they came down off that 76. This is a tough chart, man. We haven't heard. Oh, Bitcoin in down 2065 in the 15,000 handle. You
Yeah.
know what?
Bitcoin situation. Oof.
When do you, well, we'll talk about that in a second. But this, on top of the earnings miss, right? You have crude oil just getting annihilated, and in your
Yeah.
leadership, look at your leadership.
What
Exxon
leadership?
Mobil. Yeah, Exxon Mobil. Boom, 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 boom. Oh boy. Binance cites due diligence reports on mishandling of customer funds. They backed out. Was that official? Do we have that
Yeah.
yet?
Well, I don't know if it's official, but I know that they were thinking about it and they looked into the books. They don't want that. Trust me, they don't want that. They don't want it on their books either. And the question, there's so much questions because it starts being about what happens to the Voyager stuff because they were going to get bought out by FTX, right? Some people said that they were going to get like 70%. Or 70 cents on the dollar, something like that. Now, what happens in that whole situation?
Oh
There is a
man.
big mess in crypto. It is something else. Looks
Oh
like
boy.
MD saying it is official, and boom. Uh, I think that now, I mean, you just got to watch out because I think one of the things that I was looking at and I was calling towards it, Dennis was talking about the correlation this morning. I didn't want to interrupt, but in my mind, it's
You
been
got to
such.
interrupt, or else you can't get a word in.
Yeah, it's hard. It's difficult sometimes, but I let my man use his rants, but definitely it was always correlated and it felt really weird seeing the market lately going up and Bitcoin coming
Not
down.
but yep.
And then I was like, so what is going on here? Is it gonna come back into place? Well, I feel like today was that answer. Yeah. Bitcoin and the market still pretty much correlated here. Even if we don't want to think it, I mean, just take a look. Bitcoin takes a hard downturn. now we take a hard downturn.
Yeah. Yep. It was it just had that tight range, for too long. The bottom right chart is the monthlies. And I mean we could just go to any, of the growth stocks and the same thing. Um I really don't I've never been able to value it. I tell you, I was seriously looking at this thing for diversification way up there. You and I had talked about waiting for 20K. It just didn't feel right. I mean, there
You
was
gotta do like me when it comes 20K and then it becomes 20K. Then I say no, let's go back down to 10K, Joel. And then maybe it turns out to be 5K. No, it's a difficult pick, really, and the volatility in it itself, I mean, is massive. I mean, when you think about how this thing has, moves from that top and bottom. I mean, look at that monthly chart on the bottom right there. I mean, that's
wow,
that's a crazy
they're supposed
momentum.
to remove the FTX from the arena next week. I don't know if
Oh,
that's
so is it going to become back to American Airlines Arena? American, come back to the Heat. I didn't like that whole FTX. I'm a very Miami Heat fan. I'll represent the Miami culture. I say we get this FTX out of here.
how's Duncan Robinson doing this year?
He's not too bad. He's not too bad, Joel. The only problem with him is he needs to continue to up his game and his defense. If he can play defense, he'll be on the court.
Okay.
He can shoot threes. We all know he can shoot threes. The problem is he started getting dunked on too much, and then they were like, "All right, man, we got to put you on the bench, man." But
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, Brady just they pull it out too. Man,
Brady, oh, I'm sure Brady's pulling out. I mean, there's like there was a commercial. I don't know if you ever saw that commercial, Joel, with FTX, where literally they kind of clown themselves in the commercials. There's this old guy saying like, "Oh, this is gonna go like bankrupt, blah blah blah," and they're like making fun of like the boomers, right? Well, it looks like the boomer was right there. It really wasn't something to invest in. Definitely destroyed a lot of people's value there. Today, that FTT, the token that they had, really just got destroyed. And my thing is that it's really bad when this stuff happens because I
yeah.
was actually a fan a little bit, of like the whole movement because I felt like really a lot of people were like being able to find new jobs, new projects to kind of grow their careers with. And I think that's an important thing, right? Like we're always looking for growth in our economy, which is a great thing. Now, this is horrible when you get these kind of outlooks and these kind of like scammy platforms where it just really wasn't set correctly, especially when it has to do with stuff like liquidity issues and collateral. I mean, I think this is something that I know that we don't want regulation in crypto, but if we don't have regulation in crypto, well, stuff like this is going to probably might be continuing to happen. So it's really hard to stay out of regulation, but at the same time want to have the security of what
Yeah.
happens usually that comes behind the curtain of regulatory actions. So, I mean,
Yeah.
this is a tough area to be in.
Yeah, we're taking another leg down here in the S&Ps. I did see a site sell imbalance. That doesn't make any difference. We just hit 3750, down 82 handles. Bitcoin now in the on the lows of the session, down 23.95 at 15,690. I mean, I have to drill down. I don't know where you
Oh
could
man.
find support in this thing. This thing's down 13.5%. Ethereum futures, they are down more on a percentage basis, 14.5. People wanted to do a poll for the CPI number. What people are taking. At this point, I mean, you gotta be thinking that if it's a good number and we rally, there's gonna be offers out there. I mean, we pulled back. I was going to the ES here, man. I got concerned, up here. right? Because it coincided with those highs in September. 39.20, 39.30. Had those 3 days, had the drop last week, but then it fought its way back. So, you caught people here. They tried to wiggle out. Now they're getting caught again. I don't know what that CPI number. I don't even know if that can say it has to come in drastically lower. Uh, in order, I mean, like a point lower or something. AMC, someone just mentioned that's not doing too good. Ape's not doing too good.
Nope, it
Man,
is not.
and I bet you no, Delta's hanging in there. Look at that, your old value stock. I would be. I look for this to get through 34 tomorrow. If it doesn't get off 34, it could just be a little bounce. But I guess people are still flying. UAL, that's up 24 cents. So not bad on the day. We got to talk Tesla here.
Yeah,
What?
Tesla and Rivian that reports after the bell. That looks like a good target for shorts right now, at least for me and the way that I look at charts. That looks like prime time for me. So I think that watch out, Rivian investors. Not saying to make investment decisions, but definitely that chart does not look good to me.
Oh man, yeah. What is the well, the all-time lows down at
The
20
20s,
bucks.
it looks like it's
19,
going for it. It's
19 and a quarter. 19 and a quarter is low on that. But wow. What about
Tesla.
the Lucid? We'll go to the Tesla,
Lucid, you
Lucid.
want to do Lucid too? I'm telling you, that 10's coming. That 10's
Yeah.
coming. And I mean, it's a chart that I always felt like. I mean, this was never coming back. It's one of those just slow leak downs, and then when we finally cracked that 20, yeah, it came back for one little swing there in July to
Yeah.
August. But other than that, it never hung out above that 20. Couldn't hung out there, and then it started just getting the whack down. And a lot of this is just the outlook. They produced 2,000 vehicles, right? And they're celebrating because they're being able to now make 300 vehicles a week. But how are they going to meet the numbers that they still think they can meet for the rest of the year? They're like thinking that they're going to get to 6,000. The math doesn't add up. And then when the math doesn't add up, and this is what you're putting out there as an earnings, I just don't know about Lucid at least in the short term. In the long term, I think you'll turn around. I mean, it's going to sell cars, but it's going to take a while to develop those cheaper models to be the models that really get adoption that they need to really find the
Yeah.
production.
I
Also, I
mean,
mean, 300 cars a week, that's not going to do much.
no, no. Boy, oh boy. I just want to the Tesla chart. I looked at this last I believe earlier in the week, and we nothing weekly or the month until 80, and boom, 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 you're through that. Come on, computer. My computer is a little bit slow here. Not switching over to Tesla for me. Come on now. Come on now. I don't have that much running. This must be these quotes. But yeah, I'm a little stagnant here. Down 1376, 177.44. And then if it comes out after the close that must sold more, holy mackerel. The next monthly low in this is 130.77, but I think that was back from November of 2020 when we were comping after the pandemic. But Dennis made a great point this morning that there really hasn't been bad news on this, on Tesla. I mean, they've been beating for earnings. They got a big cash. I mean, the news, pretty much is that, taking over Twitter and selling stock, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. I mean, you haven't had a big down. I mean, we're all the analysts on this one too. There's going to be some downgrades coming. You haven't heard from all these Tesla bulls and lower price targets. So, lot, lot going on here, and they really like on no bad news.
Well, if you would have told me I could get Amazon from 2018 prices, well, you'll take it, Mitch. I would have been like, yeah, give it to me. Give it to me right now. Please. I'll take it. Please. 2018 Amazon. I want it. Well, guess what? You're right back to those prices.
You know what? I looked at
2018.
this
I mean, that's
stock.
4 years ago. Amazon's a good company.
I looked at this thing, and I think I can't remember where it was, and I'm like, okay, this is due for a bounce, and I'll see. And it was right in this area. No, it was yeah, it was like in the lower 90s. It had a big up day, and I'm thinking, well, maybe you can hold on here and let it in, pull the trigger on it down again. COVID low, right? COVID low was
Yeah.
81.30. So if you're stepping out here, there's your risk in Amazon. And I don't know. We had Gene on yesterday. He wasn't optimistic about this market at all, and he was talking about 3,000 in the S&P. Mitch, you must have been licking your chops on that. But
Honestly,
here,
I wasn't. It's hard to think those things, right? Like I know that I get bearish, and yeah, it might seem like it's fun, but it's also like doom and gloom. I also feel it too, you guys. I'm also human too. I don't like to see this down action. It doesn't make me excited, but it's at the same time, it's like, okay, well, at least that's what I saw, but it's just how it is. Apple, such an important level right now. Look at that chart,
oh,
Joel.
it's just
Look
a
at that chart.
level. You
The
don't
level of
come.
all levels. That's how many stars of a level is this now, Joel?
It's a 5-star. And it is 34.37 was your low in October, and then you came down here the other day. This you can't make predictions, but can't give investment advice. But man, this thing looks like it's just heavy. I mean, once again, CPI number, we could change our tune, but
Yeah.
man, that takes that out. We're looking at the June low, which was 129.04. So, man, 3 times, no such thing as a triple bottom. There you have it. See what's going in. Didn't even have a gap fill either. I was looking at this thing maybe to get up in the 140s, but gonna have to wait another day for that. Did you see the close? Let's see here. Bad day yesterday, 139.50. Similar to the S&Ps, you missed the close by a buck. 138.55 is the high. So 34.59 the low today. 34.38 your low on the 4th, and as we mentioned, your October low at 34.37. So you're looking at these reports, and it's definitely not a good day to report. So be careful there if you have if you're going off a good report, be careful there.
Well, it looks like there's some statements coming out from Silvergate, so it doesn't
Oh
look good.
no. What
Looks like Silvergate's providing statements on digital asset market volatility. So I would look into that. I got to look into it a little bit more because I don't want to get it twisted here on the facts, but definitely watch out if you have some crypto investments or crypto related stocks, mining stocks. I was looking at MSTR. That was also coming down really hard in the last 2 days. That's already down to
what's
170.
Silvergate's publicly traded, right?
Yeah, SI,
Oh boy, I don't
Silvergate
even need.
Capital.
Look at that.
That does not look
Let's
good.
just
And also the volume.
let's just look at it. SI.
Yeah, the
Boom.
volume shows
Oh
me I won
man.
out.
All right, folks. Well, this is the CPI. If we ever needed a CPI number, it's today. So
Yeah.
or tomorrow. So stay tuned.
See you
Back with
tomorrow,
guys.
team. Don't miss pre-market prep. You know it's going to have fireworks.